Good evening, guys. So this is a quick update on what I've gotten done in the last week on Boots on the Ground. As you can see, I've made a couple of small changes with the visuals. There is a really great 3D graphics artist who goes by the name of Quaternius. He has his own website, and he sells, or more specifically, has completely free assets and great big packs that are all visually matching. And you can support him on Patreon, which I really highly recommend if you can do that. He has some pretty great bonuses for his subscribers, but a lot of his stuff is available for free, which for people like me just prototyping and setting up a new game or that can't afford professionally made paid assets, he's a great resource. The only downside to it is that these are kind of cartoon looking, but for what I'm working on right now and to give it a more consistent visual look overall, it's definitely worth it, I think. This way the game may not have 100% realism, but at least the visual art style is all very similar and a lot more pleasing to the eye, until I can either get some better graphics or make them myself. So this is the new version of the soldier. Everything else is pretty much the same. The only difference is the look. And as you can see, it's basically the same system with a couple of minor tweaks as the last time. And what I've been working on has been the AI and some of the underlying structure. So now the gun is attached programmatically to the character. This is the exact same gun that the player uses, that the bad guys use, and that the good guys on your own side, your squad, will be using. That way all of the weapons work in a similar way, so if the enemy drops a weapon, you'll be able to pick it up and use it. But also, it makes it a lot easier on me building this game, because it means that instead of having to program each character with a specific gun, or have a different character with a different gun for every type, I can programmatically just slave a gun to the character and it'll automatically do what it needs to do. The benefit to that is that I can use the same gun for the player, for the bad guys, and for the good guys, which means a lot less work. A little bit of work up front saves me a lot of work in the end. So, as I said, what I've been working on has been the AI, so now these characters can follow a given path to a mission point. They'll detect the player, they'll detect your squad, they'll detect anything they consider to be an enemy. If it's within their view, they'll start shooting at it. If it has been in their view, they'll kind of hunt around trying to find it. And all that depends on how important their mission is to their survivability and to whatever's going on. So if their mission parameters are super high, if you're not actively shooting at them or not within their view, they'll stop shooting at you and they'll continue on their way. Later on, I'll have it programmed so that if their mission parameters are lower than their survival parameters and they start getting hit too hard, they'll run and hide. And if they're about even, what they'll do is they'll start trying to find you even if you've left their field of view and gone and disappeared. So I've also got a little bit of music just to make it a little bit more fun to listen to. And here's a quick playthrough. As you can see, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, I have got a health bar now, and it actually does something. So I'm going to come back in here, and I'm just going to fly my little drone over there and see where the bad guys are coming from. So if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you can see me flying around. We're going to go hunt down this corridor and see when the bad guys are coming. And they just hit my drone. They took my drone. That's part of the AI system. They just targeted the drone. It was inside their field of view, so they shot at it. And they have a bit of a random chance probability to hit, which is based on the gun's accuracy and on their own accuracy and on a couple of other parameters, such as whether they're being fired at or not. So you can see if I open fire, I'm taking hits, but they're also taking hits. Now my health bar is getting pretty low, so I got to get out of the way. Now if you look carefully, you can actually see that the bad guys have little red exclamation marks over their head, and I died. Right now the game just shuts down when you die. So let's show you that a little bit more closely. So if you take a look, I'll shoot across here. And we'll wait for them. Now see, they're marching in there. They don't all march exactly the same. There's a little bit of randomness just to make it feel better. But if I take a pot shot at one of them, an red exclamation mark pops up over their head to indicate that they are under fire, and that's one of those values that dictates how accurate they are. It's a multiplier that when it's multiplied with the character accuracy and the gun accuracy, if that means that if they're under fire, they're a lot less accurate and a lot less likely to hit you. So you really want to open fire as quickly as possible on these guys to lower their accuracy so that they don't start taking you out before you can take them out. Now, as you can see, headshots are a one way to take these guys out, but body shots are plenty effective at getting them much less accurate. Now, I don't have the AI set up yet for them to turn around and take a look at you. They'll only shoot at you if you're in their field of view, but once you're in their field of view, they will continue turning to shoot at you. So as you can see, you aren't getting away from somebody once they've locked onto you unless you can get around a corner. So a little bit of a demo of that under fire system. If you watch this, I'll just stand here until they come around the corner. So when they come around the corner, they start shooting. You can tell they are really accurate, really fast. They take me out pretty quick. But if I head up towards them and I open fire as soon as one of them comes around the corner and get them in their under fire mode, they're a lot less likely to take me out in any kind of short order. So I can just pretty much stand here and they're a lot less likely to hit me since their accuracy has been lowered by the fact that I shot at them first. And let me demonstrate that little drone shot once again. So if I come around here, get in there, lower down a little bit. So as I come around the corner, they're there and they took me out. And you can see it just crashes to the ground. And if I head up there, take all the bad guys out. Ooh, they got me first. So if the drone gets shot, you can see it'll just crash to the ground like so. And you can shoot your own drone out of the sky. So it's completely useless now, and it's definitely part of the game that you'll be able to lose your drones, and maybe you'll have a pack of them, maybe you'll only have one, but all depending on the mission parameters. So I'm going to be switching over almost completely to Quaternius's stuff. Like I said, to try to get the characters and the game world more in line with just a really consistent visual style. So here's a quick scroll through of his website. It's a lot of great stuff, especially if you're making a game of this style already, and if you're not, they're made for excellent placeholder graphics. If you go to his Patreon, he has quite a few different pretty awesome levels. I've been considering this one. If you're on his diamond level Patreon, he'll actually make models for you. So definitely looks like a great option if you have the extra cash to spare, or if you just want a fairly affordable custom models. So that's pretty much it for today. I'll be working on the AI for the characters and some scenery, and on this particular level I'm still working on reworking the squad so that they work nicely and will be easy to work with later on, but I should have a playable level within a couple of weeks at a maximum, and the first level of the game will be not complete, but definitely a really good representative of what the game's going to be like. That's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.